Cable pound versus the dollar, you would hope to find some sort of bullish pattern really after I think it was 12 days of straight losses. I mean, look at that. We haven't seen something like that in this pair for a long time. Clearly very, very oversold. You'd love to buy it and look for a V-shaped recovery, but it's not really telling me anything. There's no big support level on the weekly chart. The fact that we're oversold is never enough to pile into a market. You need to see some bullish signals. Even on the hourly chart, not really seeing anything that I could get excited about. Maybe we'll move sideways, considering we're so oversold, the downside should be limited. And I did warn about that, I think, yesterday, that we could start to trade sideways. Anyway, so I'm going to leave that one. It's not very exciting. Gold has been something I've been focused on. I really thought this 13-year trend line was going to hold. It held 2 weeks ago. It held last week, and I thought, bang, here we go, ready for a recovery. I was wrong. We broke through 1200 to stop us out of the long position, and we needed to reverse into shorts. So we took a loss, hopefully not too big on the long here, but we certainly got that and more back on this move down in gold. We got as low as 1160 yesterday, so I was very upset about the loss in gold, but I'm certainly hoping you made it back and an awful lot more on the short. Now, yesterday's candle, that big spike down to 1160 and the recovery, it's not really a bullish candle, I wouldn't say. It's more of a doji, so it's more of a neutral candle, but we're oversold, so we could start to trade sideways. This is not a particularly bullish case in the short term, but hey, we might trade sideways. So we actually pushed through 1178. We didn't get as far as 1188. Let's have a quick look at the short-term chart. I don't think there's anything in there, but I'll just check. No, not really. Okay, so gold, I can't say much. I certainly wouldn't be short anymore with that spike, recovery spike leaving us with a doji. There's already great profit. Even if you're still short from 112.00, you're still looking at 25 points, which is more than enough to make back the loss on the long around this area and bin you some profit on that trade. So even here it's worth getting out. I think just sit and wait with gold. Same with silver. Looking at some yen pairs, well, this is a bit of a mess, isn't it? We've broken the trend line, and I really thought the yen would head lower. The dollar would head lower against the yen. I thought the yen would strengthen. Certainly saw a bit of strength with some Turkey worries initially in the week, but it really didn't follow through. The yen can often benefit as a safe haven. It didn't really work. And as you can see, we're really just up one day, down the next. It's not giving me any indication of what can happen next. The weekly chart is not showing much either. The hourly chart, the levels certainly worked this week. Selling up around the 111.25, 34, was it 2030? Yeah, I think 111.2030 certainly worked. We topped at 11.42. That was a beautiful trade. If you got onto that one when we dipped to 110.40. Yesterday we didn't quite get to the sell level. We got to 111.11. Unfortunately, I had a big buying opportunity down here at 110.00, 109.90. We missed it by 10 pips. Well done if you jumped in a bit early. I missed it, so I missed the whole move up here, but I did manage to get short up there at least. Anyway, I've no idea what to do with this one. It's up one day, down the next. For a swing position, there's nothing you can do, but you can try and trade those levels if we hit them again and see if you can scalp it. The euro yen broke 126.80, 126.70, headed lower as expected, but we've seen quite a recovery there, as you can see. On the hourly chart, it's not really telling us anything. We managed to hold the May low, and we just seem to be trading sideways. If you did sell, let me see now. I know that I did have a sell earlier in the week at 120, whatever it was, in the high 126 area, and that really did work. If you managed to jump on that trade, I did that one as well. Selling in that high, mid to high 126.00 area worked, and we plunged to 125.00. So there was some real nice profit in there. I think I actually took my profit a little bit too early. We'll have a look at the hourly chart and see if that's telling us anything, giving us any indication of what to do. Not really. That's just a bit of a mess. So yeah, the yen generally isn't really throwing out any signals. Let's just have a look at pound versus yen. No, there's nothing in the pound versus yen, so I'm not even going to bother showing it to you. This is the E-mini S&P, which was great on Wednesday when we plunged and bottomed just above that 28.00, 11.97 support area, but we rallied a little bit further than I expected yesterday, getting up to 28.51. So what does that mean? we really have to look at the short-term chart to see what's going on. Right, this is the hourly chart. Now, I figured that if we held this area below 28.30, we could be forming a right shoulder of a head and shoulders pattern, and we could plunge. But this is still the case. We still could be forming a right shoulder, but in this one we're going to have to wait for a break below the neckline. Really, you can see we've peaked where the left shoulder peaked, 28.49.50. We topped yesterday at 28.51.75. So if this now turns around and reverses, and we break the neckline around 28.00, that would complete the head and shoulders pattern. It's very volatile, this market. You do tend to get volatility around market tops. You can see the candles are a lot bigger at the moment, getting on for the size that they were around February, March, after this quiet period. Anyway, I don't know what's going to happen. I'd love to see the head and shoulders pattern. I'd love to see this move significantly lower, because there'll be a really tasty profit in it. We could even get down to the sort of 27.5 area. But right now, I don't know what to say. We have to wait and see if the head and shoulders pattern forms. It's just too risky to hold a position. If you did that S&P trade, I know some of you did, I certainly did. Sorry about that one. Didn't work yesterday, selling 25.30 and stopping above 40, but there you go. We've given back some of the profit that we made on the short position from Wednesday yesterday. That's just trading, I'm afraid. Sorry about that. Right, this is Bitcoin. This is just a great market to trade, as I've said before. Now, look how we're holding the trend line going back to mid-January. So that's a good 6-7 month trend line, and the 500-day moving average. This just looks negative. I love reading these bullish comments from all those crypto bulls who are absolutely doing their ass right now, and not selling into this like they should be. Selling every rally. This is a clear bear trend. The fact we can't get through 66.5 just tells me that we're going to plunge. I had 64.80, 65.20 as a sell. That didn't work the day before. Admittedly, we overran it, but it certainly would have worked yesterday as we topped to 64.77. I really do see this going lower. I really do see this breaking the August low at 58.80, and then we're going to test 57.80, which is the crash low, and I think they're going to be broken, and I think this market is going to continue to go south, and I will be laughing at those bulls on Twitter. Okay, I think you've got the picture there. Potential correction for the US dollar, nothing serious, but definitely not a good idea to be holding longs into the weekend. If you want to try a short position in the dollar, just be careful, because it is a counter trend trade, even though I do favor a move to the downside. But if you've had a good week, why not just sit it out, wait for the dollar to sell off, and we can buy back into it again so that we stick with the trend.